Grand Rosin, my people, and welcome to the B.O.D. HQ, where all of my videos are for entertainment purposes only. And with enough being said, let's get right into footage.
Breaking news, I think that we have finally found a consensus candidate that can unite the entire country in 2024. Here we go.
For me, because I'm not 95 years old and I still remember where I parked my truck a few hours ago. Vote for me, and I'll make it a law that if you talk on the internet, you have to fist fight in real life. Vote for me, and I'll make everybody that's in the Senate and Congress work in fast food for the next 8 years. For me, and if we got a problem with another country, I'll catch a fair one with their leader, and it'll be done with. No more wars. Because I'm running for.
My favorite part about the platform is that you make all people who currently hold office work fast food for the rest of their lives. I'd love to see Elizabeth Warren on the fryer in McDonald's. You claim you're there for the working class. Go prove it, lady.
The military
What do you guys
defense
think?
contract.
You believe him? Think he's trying to deceive us? I don't know. With all this madness going on on the political scale, he's got a good chance to get my vote. I'll tell you that. What'd he say? Because he's running for what? Hell no.
Actors are making so much money, and they want to continue making so much money, and they have great influence over the politicians and over policy and over what gets done. And this money that they don't want to stop making is completely dependent upon the continuing to build, to sell, continuing to have these weapons. And there's so much money and momentum behind this that I don't know if there's a Reagan available now. I don't know if that's an option. If there's a person that can have some sense, that can say we are on a path to self-destruction and we need to stop and we need to reverse this path. You're going to have people in the Defense Department that are being influenced by these contractors. That was like, listen, there's plenty of places we can move things around and get things done. And don't you know about these guys? These guys are bad guys. We need to get over there. And this escalation is motivated by the fact that they're making ungodly amounts of money by making and selling these weapons.
The reason New York is the biggest city in America is waterproof concrete. The biggest cities in America were originally Boston and Philadelphia, who both had busier ports than New York. But in 1810, the mayor of New York City had a crazy idea to dig a river by hand across the entire width of the state so they could reach all the goods in the Midwest that couldn't go over the mountains to the other port cities. Big dream, but in order to build it, you need a way to make massive amounts of waterproof concrete, which didn't exist yet. There was one way to make a small batch with volcanic ash, but not enough for 400 miles of canal path. If New York had just given up, it's very possible Philadelphia would be the biggest city in America, especially after the railroads were built. But one engineer spent a year figuring out how to make it from local limestone. And with this recipe, New York was able to build the Erie Canal, and after it opened, New York's share of national exports jumped from 10% to 60% in just a few years, while its population quadrupled.
This man built the most mind-blowing stainless steel aircraft carrier for his son, but he did something impossible at the end, and you can't miss it. It's packed with remote control helicopters, jets, cannons, missiles, and every feature you can imagine. But that's just the beginning. It gets even crazier. The model even has jet propulsion, making it one of the most realistic replicas ever built. And you can't miss the intricate details on the deck, with miniature aircrafts perfectly lined up, ready for action. But the final reveal is the craziest part. The model floats in water, making it seem like a real battleship on a mission.
Ben Shapiro's punchlines are too fast for
What do
some.
you guys think? These last few clips, huh? Do you really think that the defense budget should be what it is? I mean, we spend a lot of money on our defense budget. So, I mean, what do you guys think? That's our money, right? As American citizens, is that, so I don't know. That aircraft was amazing, wasn't it? And I thought it was awesome, and it floats and everything. That's pretty different, shout out to them.
Politicians to react to in real time.
The country has, in the last couple weeks, talked a lot about and Googled Project 2025. It's one of the most Googled search terms right now. I just wanted to know, on just like a scale of 0 to 100%, how much do you support Project 2025?
I think, like President Trump, I haven't looked all that deeply at Project 2025, but it seems that Democrats on this committee, sort of like Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, if they say Project 2025 enough, their presidential candidate becomes alive again.
Well, let's just talk about pieces of it. I guess you can tell me if you support it. You probably want less bureaucracy, right?
I do.
I want less bureaucracy. You want more efficiency.
I do.
I want more efficiency. You want taxpayer money spent wisely.
I do. Congrats on becoming a Republican.
Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I support Roe v. Wade.
He can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
You're lying. That is simply not true. The Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's the only circumstance in which that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period, period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals.
He's 2 years younger than Biden.
What do you guys think? Wow. You believe them? Think they're trying to deceive us? Listen to what they're saying. I tell you, do your own research. We don't condone any of the violence of anything of any nature, but do your own research, I know people feel really strongly about this in our nation. What do you guys think down below? Is Roe v. Wade good? Is it not so good? I'm not sure. Express yourself down below. Let us know what you think.
If you got all the 78-year-old guys on Earth, that's number one. Oh, yeah. 100%. Yeah. Like, if you had to ask me, like, who's the fittest, most driven, on top of it, 78-year-old guy, like, Vince McMahon. See him walking in there.
The power walk.
Yeah. I mean, look at that picture of him. In his 70s. He's jacked.
Yeah.
And you now have sort of your key allies, including the British Prime Minister, the President of France, the German Chancellor having to step in and make excuses for you on that. And officials here are saying off the record that your decline has become noticeable. Hasn't this now, frankly, become damaging for America's standing in the world?
How many are standing in my leading this conference? Have you seen a more successful conference? What do you think? And the Putin piece, I was talking about Putin, and I said, and now, at the very end, I said, Putin. I said, oh, no, I'm sorry, Zelensky. And then I added 5 other names. Look, guys, the idea anybody suggests that we haven't handed over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
Stop! Security cameras captured one man's brazen attempt to catch a...
Believe the president? He's trying to deceive us? I mean, what I will say is they've came out and they've now said that he's not going to run for another term. He's not fit to run for another term. Why is he still fit to keep continuing this term? Like, why? I don't really know, but what do you guys think? Express yourself down below. I just think that a lot of times he gets off script and he just needs to listen to what they're telling him in the earpiece. That's all I'm saying. Like, he tries to go left and be going way left. So, what do you guys think? Express yourself down below.
Flight home. On Sunday, April 17th, Wyclef Florizard goes through TSA using a buddy pass for a Southwest Airlines flight to Austin. However, there were no seats available, and it was his second attempt in 2 days. Security video shows Florizard head to the Delta terminal and scope out another flight to Austin. He then stands behind a passenger and allegedly takes a photo of her boarding pass.
Comfort Plus, welcome aboard for Austin, A2. If your zone is Comfort Plus, you're welcome aboard at this time, A2.
About 25 minutes later, Florizard appears to do it again, this time while standing next to a man at the gate. He then gets on the plane using the photo on his phone and hides in a bathroom. According to charges filed in U.S. District Court in Utah, once the doors to the plane were closed, Florizard came out of the bathroom to find no seats available. And when the flight attendant couldn't locate his reservation or ticket, the plane was forced to return to the gate.
Hold up. What in the world was he doing? Like, what? Like, what did he think what did he think was gonna happen? Like, well, I guess if there's seats available, he just would have sat his behind down and been good to go, huh? Free flight. That's insane. What? Let's not get past his name. His name was Florizard or something. That sounds like a Pokemon's name, don't it? That man said Florizard, Charizard. What's going on here? Like, oh my goodness, man.
Do not record it. Do not record it. Do record it.
Quick, I'm video. I'm
Hey, he's getting a strap. He's getting a gun. Getting a gun.
Oh.
Hey. Watch out. Watch out. I got this bitch. Get out, bitch. Hey, get out, bitch. Get your bitch. Get out, bitch. Get out, bitch. Hey, get out, bitch. Get out, bitch. Hey, you fucking get out, bitch.
Stay back. Stay back.
I'm not. I'm not doing nothing.
Stay back.
That was fucked up. Oh shit.
Not 1, 2 nooses in
What
the
y'all
tree.
think? What's going on here? Goodness gracious. Was that too much alcohol involved? What was going on there? We don't condone any violence on this channel. No violence. I just think it was some people, some family get together that needed to get some frustration off their chest. But don't say it's only us, right? What is going on? What y'all doing in that situation? Huh?
And told this family, this is for your little boy.
Dukeman, who has 2 black sons, says when she called Manville police about the nooses, they claimed there was nothing they could do because it was a freedom of speech.
What kind of man uses racial hate and bigotry to harass a small child?
Despite pleas of help from the mother, her calls haven't gotten any response from officials.
If something was to happen to him, because I don't want it to get to that point. And that's what I've been trying to do this whole time, was be proactive.
No one within the city's administration, including law enforcement, has done anything whatsoever to help and assist this family for over a year.
Fox 26 did try to approach the man to get his side of the story, but we were told to back off. We're blurring his face because he has not been charged with a crime.
We deserve better as a people, as a nation, and this mother deserves better with her family who live on this block.
Sis, can I share something with you?
What do you guys think? That grill, they're trying to deceive us. We believe them. I mean, right nowadays we got to question everything, right? We got to question everything. It'd be horrible if that is true because, shame on that man for trying to pick his kids if that's the case and what he's doing, But I mean, I'm sure there's some great people in that community in all colors that don't want their community to stand for that, and will do something about it eventually, have them exiled, taken down, or all of the above, So, again, we don't condone violence over here at the B.O.D. It'll always be character over color, but it's your God-given right to protect yourself and share some type of liberty. So, I mean, whether it's right or wrong, does he have rights to do such? Is that just too much? I mean, is a noose too different from a Confederate flag? Some people may say, some people may say we know exactly what these things mean, even though other people say that it's a whole different meaning behind them, and it's about heritage and things of that nature. So, to each his own. Character over color over here at the B.O.D. though.
is that many modern women of today have so many challenges in relationships because you don't want a real man, you want a myth. And every time a real man shows up, you have an issue with him because he doesn't line up with this mythology, a mythological character you and other women have created that have no basis in reality or God's word. Many women of today, many modern women of today want a man that will allow you to lead him, and you want a man that will submit to you, and you want a man that will listen to you and let you tell him how the home is supposed to lead, and how it's supposed to be, particularly if you make more money than him. But that goes against God's order. Men have been set up to lead. The order of the family is Christ, the husband, and then the wife. You can never have that role, yet you have created this scenario where any man that actually corrects you, wants you to submit to him, gives you instructions, and wants you to not always go back and forth with him, you have decided that he is controlling and he doesn't know how to treat a woman. But it is, you don't even know what it means to be a woman. You have no idea what your role is as a wife. And the reason I know that is because you keep trying to lead the home. That's not your role. It is for your husband. Stand down and stop fighting your husband and beating your husband up for this character, this myth that you have created all in your mind. Remember that today and carry on.
What's up? We believe AT. We think AT's trying to deceive us. I mean, are women starting to be demonized for them just wanting standards and what they want out of a man, as well as how men were demonized if they want standards and what they want out of a woman? I mean, I don't know. I just say to each their own. Find one that's trying to jam with you the way you're trying to jam. If not, then just move on, right? I just feel like people are getting demonized for their own preferences. It's okay for women to have preferences and say, I want my man to do this, this, that, and the third. And it's okay for a man to say, I want my woman to do this, that, and the third. I mean, it just is, right? Maybe you'll find somebody who's rocking with it. Maybe you won't, you know? I say for men, if you have a certain amount of moxie about you, there's millions more women than men in the world. So you may have more chances than women may have of finding that mate, you know? Traditionally, I feel like it's been easier to find a good woman than it is to find an actual decent good man. That's another thing to look at, you know? But at the same time, I think that people just to each their own, right? Get with one that's rocking with you the way you see fit. But what do you guys think? Is Auntie trying to deceive us? Express yourself down below.
Vanguard. Oh, it's a fucking protest.
What is this? Bro, how many people are in there?
You all.
I don't want to fucking move. I don't want these fuckers touching my car.
Dang, these guys are not playing around, bro. They hopped out of the U-Hauls. That's crazy.
What do you guys think? You believe them? Think they're trying to deceive us? Think that was just their buddies recording them so they can get a little promo? I mean, who knows what it was, but I mean, we can read that there. But I tell you what, it was a billion of them bopping out of there, wasn't it? How was they safe inside of that U-Haul? Forget how was they safe. How did they feel okay inside of it? Maybe they didn't come from very long, you know. Hopefully they just shacked up and came from like down the road or something. But still, I'd have to have been the driver of the U-Haul or something. I wouldn't have been in the back with everybody else now. But in all things, we don't condone hate. To each his own. You're welcome to feel however the hell you want. But over here, it'll always be character over color, right? And we can have a difference of opinion. Always be character over color. You got a good character, good nature, good vibe about you. We're with it. The channel, we love you. If not, go about your wayside. Go find another channel that's rocking with you the way you see fit.
So why is it now that when the sun rises at 6:49 in Japan, the sun is still up in the West? And I figured this out by watching a live where the streamer was streaming from Japan. And the sun was high in the sky while she was on stream. The sun was also up in the sky where I was.
Check the sunset out, right? This sunset never touches the horizon. It stays on those clouds. I feel like that those clouds that he has over there in Hawaii are actually machines. Because look, once my filter pops up, you're gonna see like rollers. Like the sun gets on the rollers, it starts moving on its own. You can tell too, because the other clouds don't move, but just that one part right here, right? It looks like an escalator in a way. It looks like an escalator in a way, like a ride. Like it stops and then it starts moving. Look at that, dude. That's going up the fucking cloud, dude. That's definitely a fucking machine. Like that whole cloud system you showed me, all the videos look like that. I think they have a legit like a fucking cloud machine that I don't know, carries the sun around.
So there's a time lapse of the sun as it moves across the sky. As it gets to a point, it glitches. I'm not sure if you saw that, but if you didn't, don't worry. Let's bring it back so you can see what's going on. So as it moves along, it glitches. Pay attention. What just happened is the sun is exchanging tracks. It's moving from one track to another. Yes, a track. The sun moves on tracks. So let me just show you some of the gears. So take a look at the 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock region just above the sun. They are the gears interlinking. There's a spiral forming around the sun projection, which is interlinking into the rest of the sky and moving the projection across the sky. Now here you can see the gears as they flow. You can see the mechanism happening. And as the sun moves, you can see it tilts to either side and gives you the angle. So now here's another example of the sun glitching as it exchanges tracks. A totally different bit of footage. As you can see, it comes down and it glitches. Now that's exchanging tracks. Same thing again. Very common. And there are multiple suns. Every region has its sun. There is one light source projecting light to each sun. Yeah? So our suns, the suns that we see, are all projections.
Look at how the law works, because they abolished.
Believe him? He's trying to deceive us? I don't know. I think a lot of these videos, some of these can be, a little bit stretched and things like that. But what I will say about the whole solar system and all these things is I will never understand how we're going 500,000 miles through space right now, and they said we have been, but they said the stars are in the same exact place that they were the year before. So whatever today's date is, look at the stars. The stars will be in the exact same place the next year. So that's kind of questionable to me, to say the least. So, but what do you guys think? Express yourself down below.
Slavery, but not the slave. Or the slave owner. Imagine, you abolish slavery, but the slaves, meaning we don't have sovereignty. What does it mean to be a slave? You are dependent on another. You are the slave. You are the dependent.
As we all are.
As we all are, on their system, on their laws, on their medicine, on their education, on their... The minute we get that sovereignty, then we are actually not slaves in law. But legally, we still slaves right now. That's in slavery. You see, and look at how the law works, because they abolished slavery, but not the slave.
why you can't trust big food
What do you guys think?
institutes
You
for
believe him? Think he's trying to deceive us? I mean, are we all still slaves? I mean, I- are we all still slaves? We're just not shacked up anymore. It's just not the people who they said they brought over here on slave ships. It's everybody who's calling themselves citizens. Are we slave to the United States or to the government? I don't know. Express yourself down below. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear it. But that was an interesting take.
health.
Food has been buying off scientists to study some of their unhealthiest products and recommend them as a crucial part of a healthy diet. So now we have a brand new food pyramid where frosted mini wheats are healthier than grilled chicken. I swear. Primetime decided to dig into this little study today, and it was done by researchers at Tufts University, a safety school, and paid for by Fauci's cabal over at the NIH, the so-called National Institute of Health. It claims that foods we thought were healthy, like meat and eggs, are terrible for us and recommends replacing them with junk food manufactured by America's largest food conglomerates. See where this is going? According to these new recommendations, we should moderate our consumption of eggs, cheese, ground beef, and rice, and replace them with foods that are more profitable for the food industry, like frosted mini wheats, Cocoa Puffs, chocolate-covered almonds, and peppermint lattes. What about clean, healthy proteins like chicken, beef, and shrimp? Well, they want us to cut back on that. Cocoa Puffs are just as healthier than lean protein. Now, the government won't tell you this, but most of these junky foods they're pushing also just happen to qualify for food stamps. And you can't buy healthy food with food stamps, but you can buy as many chocolate-covered almonds as you want.
If you flip the human nervous system
What do you guys
upside down,
think?
it looks...
You believe him? Think he's trying to deceive us? I mean, look at it. Look at the food. If it's true that these companies are shipping the same food to other countries, just not with as much additives and BS in it, why are we allowing it? It's tough because this food be good. It's tough. But seriously, in all seriousness, why are we allowing it? Why is our government allowing it? Why are we the ones who get the poison? Why are we the ones who get the nasty food? Why are we the ones who get all the GMO? Why? I don't know. Express yourself down below.
like a tree growing out of a seed, bearing the fruit of the heart, which looks suspiciously like a piece of fruit hanging in a tree. That tree growing out of the seed also supports the fruit of the Spirit, and the cycle of the seed looks suspiciously like the parable of the sower. 12 pair of cranial nerves to edify the body, controlled by the mind. 12 disciples sent out in pairs to edify the body, controlled by the head. 12 disciples with one removed. 12 tribes with one removed. Adam's 12 pair of ribs with one removed to make Eve. Jesus pierced in his side to bring the church to life. Are you starting to see it? I often wonder why God made me a medical doctor. And then I start to see the gospel in the anatomy and physiology of our bodies, and it all starts to make sense. Allow me to elaborate. If the husband is the head and the wife is the body, then the husband is the brain and the wife is the heart. And so the husband is responsible for thinking, taste, touch, sight, smell, and hearing, and the wife is responsible for feeling, following the brain, and doing. All you have to do is study the central and peripheral nervous systems, and then the somatic and autonomic nervous systems, and you will know exactly how your marriage is supposed to be structured, and why you guys can't get along for the life of you. It's the heart arguing with the mind, the rod arguing with the staff, the law arguing with grace, the circulatory system arguing with the nervous system. Is it possible that we are complementary systems?
No, we bleep that name out. We already
What do you guys think? You believe him? Think he's trying to deceive us? I mean, that was a great take, right? I don't think I've ever heard it from an educational, doctoral standpoint like that, if I may say. I mean, that was news to me. What about to you guys? all of these things be lining up in nature and just by happenstance or how we're created and, is it all by coincidence? I'm really not a fan of those, but what do you guys think? Express yourself down below.
Full name. So it's like, so when you murdered him, like, did you hold the gun like this? Or
You are a devil.
Yeah,
you know
man.
you are. That's
He
why
had
you
a
keep your
pocket.
face off camera. Anyway, let's make this clear. You are a damn devil, and you know that. For those who keep going on his network knowing that he is literally the first 48s of YouTube, for anybody who continues to go on knowing that, you need to check yourself. Seriously. All of our people, and I say this with love, we have to check ourselves. Because attention is a drug. And having a certain amount of reach, we think, oh yeah, it's effective. No, it's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. So stop being so thirsty to get on these platforms. That's why he never invited me on, just so you know.
Oh, yeah, he was.
His team reached out to my team slightly until he started watching my videos. He saw the numbers, and he saw me with certain artists and celebrities. Like, oh yeah, I want to go ahead and invite that guy on. No, you don't.
Nah.
Yeah. No, because once he made certain remarks about the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I'm like, check this out, white boy. Let me say this to you.
Put you in your place.
And I did a video on him. And after that, it put an avalanche out there. Then Godfrey comedian and Lord Jamar, they all said, oh, we not rocking with him because of what he said. Again, we have to make sure people respect our people and respect us.
Especially when they make a whole living off of us.
So I want y'all to understand, this is not a game, so no. Which is why he was named after the impaler Dracula, who used to eat people. The original vampire.
Yeah.
He is a bloodsucker. Just
What do you guys think? You believe them? Think they're trying to deceive us? I mean, that was a pretty interesting take for me. Have you guys heard anything like that? I know that he gets paid off of a lot of people of color's downfall, but don't they do it to themselves? Don't they go into his show? Don't they do the action that he's talking about? Or the allegations that he's talking about? Can we blame him too much for profiting off of it? I don't really care for the guy. It's my personal opinion. I don't like people who profit off of us and don't really like us and everything. I don't really care for things like that. And that's just for me. I don't like his character. But over here, it'll always be character over color.
Do you know who that is, what that is, and what that has to do with the end of the world? If you don't believe in the Antichrist, and I don't have a religion, you will by the end of this video. This man existed. This is a real person right here. This is the spiritual, symbolic representation for the spirit of the Antichrist on earth. Oh yeah. The Antichrist already came. The damage has already been done. The world already ended. And those who watch this video until the very end, you'll have an understanding that many people simply cannot. This is a pope, and his name is Romanus Pontifex. I'm probably mispronouncing that. But this is the pope who was the physical embodiment of his time of the white horseman. Remember, the white horseman is in Revelations. The white horseman is said to be the conqueror. The white horseman is released in the first seal. And when this being comes on the earth, you will see conquering on the earth like you've never seen before. Now, first you got to understand what a spirit actually is. A spirit is not a ghost. A spirit is very real. First of all, I'm not saying that ghosts aren't real. Spirits are a personality or a pattern that does not need a physical embodiment in order to interact or be sensed by things around it. That's why you hear people say school spirit. Or you say that somebody's spirit is still here. I can feel your spirit in the room even when you're not. Or I felt the absence of your spirit. Archetypes are spirit. That's why you see certain entities and characters always coming up in every single story you read. But I digress. Not the Catholics, but the elites within the Catholic Church were the embodiment of the Antichrist. And they were the embodiment of the white horseman. Let me break this down. The white horseman was always supposed to be the Antichrist. If you read Revelations, you can tell. The white horseman conquers the world in a way that's never been conquered before. And the Antichrist acts like he's Christ, and he comes in the name of Christ, though he is not. This Pope was the one who sanctioned colonialism and slavery worldwide, not just of black people, of all people. And can you guess what was the name of the first slave ship? I want you to write that below, and it will all make sense to you. And when these Catholics came to enslave people, they came and said that they come in the name of Christ, and that they are here to bring you to heaven, and they will put them in ships and take them to slavery. It gets deeper. Who were the people who killed Christ? The Romans, right? Who were the people who adopted the story of Christ to control their people? The Roman Empire, right? That happened with the Council of Nicaea. Go look it up. Who changed their entire image, right? Who claimed to no longer be a nation of kings, but instead of Christ figures, who used Christianity to conquer the world. That was the Catholic Church, people. Come on, know your history. Has there ever been a time where a small group of people have conquered the entire planet? The entire elite Western body conquered the entire planet under the name of Christ? That is the job of the White Horseman. There's a book that breaks this down even better. It's called FAMS, Food, Forest, Foraging, Hunting, Anti-Fragile Modern Society. You'll see it right here, but there's also a free version. It's the audio version. It's in a link at the top of the page. By page 40 in the book, you'll have a full understanding of what I'm talking about, but the book is actually bigger than that. You have to understand that the matrix, the medium or structure in which you develop in this shadow matrix, the great devourer, Babylon, is what you live in today. And you don't need, I don't have a religion, by the way. I'm not here to make you believe in Christianity, Islam, Judaism, any of that. I'm just here to give you the truth and give you a way out the matrix. This book shows you the way out the matrix and back to the Garden of Eden. We're meant to be technologically advanced hunter-gatherers, fully one with nature and God. But they have brainwashed you about hunter-gatherers, not telling you that hunter-gatherers are the one who created
The life you are living, it's a movie, and the Bible is the...
You believe him? He was trying to deceive us? You know, express yourself down below. Let me know. I thought he shot a lot of information out, and he kind of had his evidence to back it up. So what do you guys think? Express yourself down below. My bad. And let us know what you think.
Scripture. Let Lance enlighten
Because you
you.
need a script to make a movie. They have this place called Hollywood where they make movies at. They come in with a script and they make a movie out of it. God did one better. He showed his prophets the future. He said, write it down so you motherfuckers would know what's going on later on when in your captivity, when he wakes you up. So if you read this motherfucker, it'll tell you the past, the present, and it tells you the future. Yeah. There's these women walking around here with no hair in their head. They got to go to this Chinese place called hair weave stores and glue it to their hair. You want to know why? You want to know why our woman had a bald head? Well, if this tells you the past, present, and the future, it tells you why our woman went bald head. You ever heard of a guy named Isaiah?
Yeah.
In the Bible, you heard of Isaiah? Well, if you go to Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16, not only will this Bible tell you why our woman lost their hair, but it'll tell you about stinking pussy. And you go, oh my God, how dare you talk about stinking vagina in a Bible, you crazy nigger.
It's the truth.
Huh?
The Bible is the truth.
Oh, but remember, God said, let no man deceive you and prove what the fuck you say. Now, I told you that this Bible right here tells you where the woman going to lose their hair, and somebody's poontang is going to smell like a tuna boat in Florida in August, okay? God. Here it is right here. Oh, yeah, somewhere in this. Oh, yeah, the page was hidden. It's Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16.
Men judge other men by who they choose.
You believe him? He was trying to deceive us? You know, I don't know. I've seen a lot of scriptures. I'm sure I read the scripture that he was talking about there, but I guess I'll have to go back and read that one again. But I tell you what, there's a lot of questionable spots in the Bible. A lot of questionable things that They say things that you would never even dream of, things that you would never even think that they would say in there, which is why a lot of the reason why I question it. But if you have any verses that you think are questionable, express yourself down below. Let's hear them.
As a woman, that is a reflection of who you are as a man by who you walk in that room with. And why would any man tether himself to a woman that has a bad reputation, that slept with 8 out of 9 men in this room? Now you are the laughing stock. And men that understand that don't put themselves in that situation. I'm not gonna tether myself to a woman that I feel is promiscuous or have a bad rep or is too friendly. I like my women mean. I want her to barely like me. I don't want her smiling no bunch of men face. I don't want a bunch of men to be like, oh, I was able to bend your wife over or I bend her. I don't want to walk in the room and have to worry about that. When I walk in the room, I walk in the room very esteemed because I know I got something that a lot of men can never say they have. My Versace shoes or chain or Bentley or Rolls Royce, there's a lot of men with Rolls Royce. What set me apart is because I walked in the room with a woman that is highly respected, highly sought after, but I'm the only one who got her. So that set me apart from everybody in there.
Because when you ask a man, hey, how do you feel about...
You believe him? Think he's trying to deceive us? You know, he said something, you know, he was saying earlier, she was saying, right, no, yeah, why would you want to be like that as a woman? Even when a woman sometimes, like, just to win an argument, she'll say things that she knows that she don't even want to go for her dang self. Just to, like, win an argument or just to have something to argue about. Like, because the things that she was saying, the character that he was describing when she was saying, why not? Why would, like, as a woman, you may want to act like that, but you have to put yourself in a man's perspective. A man may not want a woman to conduct herself like that, just like you as a woman may not want your man to be feminine. You may not want a sissy. You may not want them soft. You may not want them to be feminine. Period. Like, you may want them to be more masculine, or you may want them to be more feminine. I think with everything, it should be a good balance. I don't think that no man could be too rah-rah. No woman should be too, you know, kind of submissive. I think that everybody needs a balance, right? Everybody needs to find their masculine and their feminine and balance it out what fits them, right?
What is he going to do? A man, if you ask a man how did he feel, he's going to tell you what he thinks. You ask a woman what she thinks, she's going to tell you how she feels. Okay. Why? Because one is a nurturer and one is a natural born hunter. One is a thinker, an analytic. He's strategic. A woman feels.
But don't
and you can't lead with feelings.
Listen, don't you think that you need both in every situation?
A man can't be a man in his feelings.
I'm not saying that. Oh, okay. I'm talking about, like, there's people that think that there's no place for women in certain industries.
It's not.
Like what?
It's not.
Like what?
Well, because women aren't designed to lead.
That's not true.
That is true.
Okay, so but we can push men forward and motivate them to be better, but we can't.
But encouraging and motivating aren't leading. Okay. Come on, baby, you can do it. Come on, baby. Oh, that's motivation, and that's the fuel to say, oh, I can do it. Come on, baby, you can do it. So that's not leading.
Okay.
That's inspiring, motivating. That's what your mother does. Your father comes home and leads. No man in the world listens to his woman, because you have your woman. A man has to lead without his woman's voice. The woman's voice come into play when I'm feeling discouraged.
Get your state.
What do you guys think?
Citizen.
You believe Unc? Think Unc's trying to deceive us? I think he always comes with some pretty fiery takes, some pretty controversial takes. What do you guys think? You believe him? Think he's trying to deceive us? Let us know down below.
Passport. That's step 1. That puts you on the do not stop, do not detain list. You hand them your passport card. You're off limits. Step 2, get your dot number and get your private license plate.
Breaking news, I think that we have found out a consensus candidate.
You believe what she's saying? Think she was trying to deceive us? You know, with all of this talk with the who status and who you are, how you are, and all of these things, do not detain lists and all that. I don't know, but I just put me on that list. I don't be mess with nobody, no try to harm nobody, no ill will towards anyone. Do you, however you want to live. If you like it, I love it. I'm one of them, like to each his own type person. Just don't mess with what I got going on. I don't really be in the mix like that. I'll be chilling. Like, put me on the do not detain list. Put me on that. I want to feel good whenever police officers get behind me. I don't even got to be doing nothing wrong. I try not to do nothing wrong ever. Why? Because I'm grown. I'm just trying to live a better life. But I shouldn't have to feel a certain way when police get behind me, whether they want to mess with me or not. I just shouldn't feel a certain type of way because there's people that feel absolutely nothing when they're there. And I can be doing nothing wrong and still feel something. I want to feel nothing, right? So put me on that do not detain list. That's all I'm trying to say. Well, if you've made it this far, I want to thank you. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment on the way out. Tell us how we can improve and grow the channel. Hit that notification bell to make sure you're here for the next one. And don't forget, all of our videos are for entertainment purposes only. Have a grand rest of your existence. Always remember, fortunate feelings forever and fortunate vibrations forever. And until next time.